What can we help you with?
So two things. First is I'm feeling kind of stuck with everything generally, as opposed to working as a copywriter. And that feeling is coming from my inability to get my portfolio going. I watched the video of how to work with a graphic designer, and then I, followed the steps and the tips and tricks, and went to a couple groups on Facebook and found some potential graphic designers. I also found somebody on LinkedIn, but for some reason, it looks like they're not placing me as a priority as I would do them if they requested something for me. So I felt rather than keep flogging and trying to force the partnership, it's better to just find someone else. And that is still ongoing. And I also decided to, in the meantime, try to look for maybe job opportunities so I could build an experience.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels weird applying for jobs without a portfolio that people can look.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
My feeling of stuff is coming from those two things.
Yes. So the good news is you're not stuck. You've hit like a little speed bump, a little bump in the road. Yeah. So you are completely right in that you don't have to. Is it great to have your portfolio up and ready to go? Yes, but it doesn't have to be. But I might consider, instead of necessarily applying for jobs, trying to pitch smaller businesses or other businesses, because yes, you're completely right that when you're applying for jobs, when you're applying for copywriter roles, they're going to be expecting to see a portfolio. But when you apply to work with companies, when you pitch companies, they may be less likely to ask to see your portfolio. And they'll be much more open to you saying, I'm actually right in the middle of putting together my portfolio, but I saw this opportunity and I really wanted to reach out with you because I really like to work with you. And I think I can have a major impact on your business. So that it's, and then while you're doing that, you can keep the thing about finding designers. And if you haven't yet, go into, in the CCA, it's in the special events section, right, Kate? Yep. The design day. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, take a look at them. But the thing about finding designers is that, yes, sometimes people find designers to work with right away. It happens. And then sometimes it takes a while. It's about casting a net far and wide. Often you can't do one or two things. You have to do a bunch of different things. And if it doesn't hit, then you have to do a bunch more things. But I think my guess is that if you are spending some time working to find designers, but then also spending some time pitching potential clients, that might make you feel a little bit better about doing both, because then you're moving forward on both fronts.
Yeah, you're a little less stuck at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure where you're at with your portfolio, but you can also write yourself a creative brief, start writing the copy for the pages that you're going to need. So, about page, start writing that, start figuring out your homepage, how you want it to look and what copy you need for each section. Portfolio, obviously you would need to wait for the pieces to write about the pieces, but you can at least, am I going to have a headline for that page? And what's it going to say? What copy do I need? My contact page. And so moving forward in all those other areas, while you have balls kind of in motion in, pitching and, like Nicki said, reaching out to designers. So then hopefully you feel less stuck because you're still making progress on things that you need to do, but you're not just focused on getting one thing done of working with a designer and getting a spec piece. Because even better, if you start pitching clients, you get paid work, you put that in your portfolio and sayonara. Do you need to, of course, it's always great to have designers, in your network and those connections, but you might end up feeling like, oh, I actually don't need spec pieces because I have all of these paid pieces now.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you need fewer spec pieces. Maybe you need one or two or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Does that feel doable?
Yep, totally.
Good.
Totally. Yes, it does.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
You will find a designer eventually. Sometimes it feels like, oh my gosh, it's never going to happen, but it will happen if you keep reaching out. And then before you know it, you'll be like, oh, I have this network of designers that I work with and that I refer to people to, and that they refer me to their clients. Or it will happen. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer than we want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my major question.
Yes.
And then I guess my minor question would be, for someone like me, I've always worked remote. I haven't actually been able to do anything in physical space. And so it's hard to kind of figure out small businesses, because every time I search small businesses near me, I say I'm in Cambridge, or maybe anything. SME businesses near me is like a list of not so small businesses. And so I feel it part of me feels like I need to actively go into the neighborhood to try to figure out, oh, these are small businesses that exist. But then COVID isn't helping anybody, and work is also making everything hard. So how would you navigate such if you were in my shoes?
Yes.
Great
So
question.
here's the thing: is it doesn't have to be small businesses, right? It could be, you could just find a company that you're interested in working with and reach out to them. You could be on Instagram and you could see an Instagram ad come up for a company and go, oh, that's really interesting. And then you click through and you go, oh, I'd like to work with that company. The great thing is that companies now understand how easy it is to work with people remotely. So you can be working with anybody all over. But if you're thinking, okay, I can't really get out of the house, I can't really go into businesses, but I would like to pitch at least some local businesses, go on Google Maps, go to where you are, and then zoom in to see what it shows you around you. It'll show you some restaurants, it'll show you some shops, it'll show you, and then
it'll show you whether they have a website or not.
Exactly.
And if you click on website, it might take you to a Facebook page, and you're like, that's
exactly.
not a
And then
website.
then you can do the same thing for the next town over. Go and like, okay, well, let's see what's over there. And then let's see what's over there, and do that for the next couple of towns.
Vacation before, if there's some place that you're like, oh yeah, I liked
exactly.
that coffee shop that I visited 5 years ago. Is it still in business? What are they doing?
Yeah, it's true. With COVID, we do have to get a little bit more creative, but technology has made it easier than ever to find these potential clients.
Okay. So those are both my questions. You guys have been awesome.
Yeah.
Well, they were really good questions. Good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep us posted. I hope they help you move through the speed bump, not the road, but the speed bump.
Yes,
and I will keep you posted in the group chat.
Yeah, please
or
do.
in the Facebook group.
Do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Thank you both so much.
You are so
Yeah.
welcome. So welcome. Good work. Like what you heard? Hit subscribe so you never miss a video. And if you're ready to take the first step toward becoming a copywriter yourself, sign up for our free video training right here.